Hey, what's up guys? Ken here again with what I would say is a pretty easy fix for this F250. It is an '05 model. Love this truck. It's got the 6.0. Me personally, haven't had any problems with mine other than the normal mechanical stuff, but I know what the deal is. But either way, if you don't know what I'm talking about there, you probably have never read about these engines or whatever. But what I've got going on is I was driving to the beach with my wife. We were going on a weekend, so not the time that you want to spend time working on your truck. On our way down there, I kind of get into it a little bit, and I hear a pop, or it sounds like a balloon, and then what sounds like air rushing, and I lost some boost. So I knew it was something with the turbo. Knew kind of in the back of my mind what it was, but as I suspected, it was a turbo intercooler hose. So I'll show you on the new part. This basically sits in your truck just like this. This is the angle it sits, and at the top mine ruptured right about there. Has a split about maybe 1.5 inches in it, and so like I said, no one has one of these laying around, right? And so the question was I going to drive another 45 minutes to the Ford place that had the part, which wanted to charge me $145 just for the part, or what did I want to do? So I pull into my local Lowe's. I was able to drive because as long as I wasn't bringing the RPMs way up and bringing the boost over about 20, my truck runs, the boost will run between 5 and 10 psi on the gauge anyway, and as long as I kept it under 10, I didn't hear the air, so I wasn't too concerned about it. Truck was running fine, no big deal. Pulled into Lowe's and I grabbed a couple things I'll show you that I did the fix with. At the end of this video, I'll kind of deconstruct the fix, right? So sort of reverse engineer it for you so you know. I bought some of this flex tape and some Gorilla tape, right? And so real simple, cleaned off the intercooler hose, which is hard plastic, put a patch over it, and then reinforce that patch by wrapping a strip of Gorilla tape around it, and that has held fine. It's been a couple weeks since I had a chance to get out here and fix it because I knew I wanted to make a video about it, but I'll do a little bit of editing. I've done some of the easy stuff just so you don't have to watch me sit here and work on the truck and fast forward like I do through all these videos, because that gets old, right? I know your truck's broke, you just want to know how to fix it, so I'll try to help you do that. Because everybody's happy when their truck is happy, right? Anyway, look on the bright side. You can actually pick up, I bought this instead of the 145, 149, something that the dealership was going to charge me $75 on Amazon, actually, and it was here in 2 days. So my temp fix has held fine. Like I said, I just, I want to get it replaced because I want it right, okay? So I will stop and do a little editing. I'll show you a little bit of what you have to do to get to this thing, and then at the end, like I said, I'll show you, we'll go in reverse with my repair, which is still on the truck right now, so you can see how you could fix it. If you're on the road and you don't have time to fix it, you can see how to do that, okay? All right, let's jump into it. Okay, better angle. This is where the blowout was, right along here. Again, this Gorilla tape is here to reinforce the real patch, which is the flex tape. This hose gets hot and it expands, so when I put this tape on here, it was really tight. Now it's not so much, but that's why I used the flex seal, because I knew we were dealing with a kind of a high temp thing. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the battery out, the battery tray, the air filter. I'm going to move this hose. It has one clamp here, one clamp at the bottom, which I'll be able to get to once I remove all of this stuff. I'll show you what it looks like when you get out. Obviously these F250s, 350s, whatnot, some of it's a lot the same, but I don't have a 350, so I can't tell you. Have a 2 battery system, so obviously you want to, and I loosened that before, so I don't drive around with it that loose. You want to remove the negative on one so that you remove all your electrical power from the truck while you get the batteries out anyway. All right, so that's a real simple thing. I'm going to do some pulling out of this. One of the big ways to remove your air cooler is unhook your clips, but this hose actually just pushes into a hole under here, I'll take all this stuff out and I'll show you guys what that looks like here in just a second. Okay, here we are. This is where the battery used to sit. This is where the air cleaner, air filter used to sit. Now you don't have to, you could probably wiggle this in here without taking all this out. But one thing you'll see maybe from my videos is I love to get stuff out of the way. Too many times I have worked on things and just struggled because I didn't just take an extra couple minutes. So screw here, screw here. So probably the relay box or something. I didn't look and see what it was. Sorry for the camera work. Comes out. This will lift out. Got that out of the way. And now we're left with the intercooler hose. You can see the connection down here. I'm gonna pull this out of the way. This is a lot harder with one hand than two. All right. So as you can see, I got everything out of the way. Total probably elapsed time 5 minutes. Not a long job. Again, it's easier to just get it out of the way than to try to fight with putting everything back. One connection here, one connection here. All right. I'm going to take this off, show you what it looks like, and then put it back together. Okay, that's quick work. So here's the upper connection. And let me see if I can see it down here. Here's your lower connection. It goes right in. I don't know if you can get this wrong. I don't think I can. So it's got to be super simple because, you know, we can all get it wrong. Anyhow, so I don't really know. I'm not a Ford mechanic. I had a little bit of oil, little bit. I mean, very little up in there. I would assume that's probably pretty normal, especially for an 05 or whatever. Maybe you're a Ford mechanic and you go, oh my gosh, that's major or minor. You can throw that in the comments because, like I said, I'm an airplane mechanic by trade. I know that there's some little stuff to look for like that, but on this truck, I just do the basics. I would rate this project, I don't know, maybe 3 on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as difficulty. It's pretty simple stuff, just removing bits and pieces. Again, at the end, I'll deconstruct this. I'm gonna go ahead and put the new part in. I do want to show you something about the connections when I get it there, so hang tight. I'll be right back. Okay, new part installed. By the way, I'm sure somebody wondered, you know, hey, you're getting a knockoff from Amazon, but this is actually the real deal. It's Ford. Came from Indianapolis. Apparently the plant up there. Here's what you want to notice though. Obviously the engine side, but 12 newtons, mega newtons, whatever you want to call them, torque. That actually works out to about 8.8 something foot-pounds of torque, or about 106 inch-pounds. I'm not smart enough to do that math in my head. I did it earlier just because. But torque matters, especially on parts like this, because you've got plastic and you've got metal and you've got expanding pieces and parts. So if you crank down on this, I used to have a guy that I was in the Air Force with named Dan. And boy, Dan was heavy-handed, man. He was like him and his dad owned a trucking company. And when he bared down on something like this, he would go and go and go. And so I was always laughing because he would break stuff, over torquing it. And 105 inch-pounds is not that much. You can, I don't know. I really don't know how to explain it. You could get a torque wrench. I use the old calibrated elbow just because I've been doing stuff like this long enough to know. But anyway, there it is. I'm going to put this back together real quick. I'm going to wrap the video up. If you wanted to see how I did the temp fix, hang in there and we'll wrap the video up. All right. I'll show it to you in just a second. Okay, man, less than 10 minutes later, all's well. I told you I'd show you kind of deconstruct this, right? Hopefully it didn't get so hot that it's near impossible, but I'm just gonna, I didn't remove this to do this, by the way. I did it in the Lowe's parking lot. Pretty simple. Like I said, flex tape. Well, I cleaned up the, obviously, I cleaned the best I could. I cleaned the pipe up with, I had some degreasing wipes. I would use alcohol, some kind of spray cleaner. I don't know. Anything you have to get the dirt and junk off of there. I'm gonna show you this, right? So this is where it split, and that's where that flex tape was. This is hot air going through this intercooler hose, right? So this has just turned totally to goo. Right, you can kind of see right there. That's where the failure was, okay? So again, big balloon pop at high RPM and high boost. Poof, shh, that's the sound. Every time you rev it up, you hear that sound. Probably your intercooler hose. Again, not a hard fix. Probably, man, 145 bucks. You could probably easily double that. It probably would have been 350, maybe, if I could have got it in at the Ford place. Those guys are great. They do good work down there. But I love to save a little money, especially when it's in, I don't know, pretty easy project. So intercooler hose, 75 bucks on eBay. No, not eBay, Amazon. Easy fix. All right, so hope you guys stay on the road, do really well. Subscribe, you know, check it out. I don't put out a lot of videos, but hopefully they do help. Maybe save you some money, give you a little insight, give you some courage, tell you, go ahead and fix it yourself, man. It's not as hard as you think, okay? So, all right, well, there it is. I'll see you guys around.